Again, I am always honored to come to this celebration or recognition of this important day in the United States. I moved to New Mexico 50 years ago this year, and 50 years ago this year, Dojuk Chen built a little stupa up on Cerro Gordo, and that was the first time that I ever connected with Tibetan Buddhism. I mean, I had one other connection, but that was when I knew that it was my path. And it was such a great gift to come to that little stupa. It was out in the open. There was no buildings around it. And, it was, I prayed for a teacher to come, and many great teachers came, including His Holiness Dingo Khyentse Rinpoche, Tukul Tenli Norbu, Kalu Rinpoche, who I took refuge with, and it was a great opportunity to be introduced to the Tibetan culture through those great masters. And it is such a great honor for me as a public servant and a public official to be able to be here and support your cause, because this is an important cause in the world. This is not just a cause for Tibet, but it is a cause for the entire world of autocratic governments taking over other governments. We are also now faced with the same thing that happened to Tibet that is happening to Ukraine. And it is a really sad day when people do not respect the sovereignty of other countries. The United States has had its own lessons in trying to eradicate the Native Americans, and in the 1800s and 1600s, starting in the 1600s here with the Pueblo Revolt. And we would hope that other countries could learn from our mistakes, and we can also learn from our own mistakes. But as a Santa Fe County Commissioner and as the entire board, we have proclaimed this to be Tibetan Freedom Day, but it is really Tibetan Uprising Day. It is really an uprising, and it is all of you who are out here and all of the people throughout the United States, voluntary organizations like yourself, Tibetan organizations that are carrying on this path. And, it is really important to have Congress pass this bill. And it is not impossible, and it can be done. But what it takes is people writing and calling our senators, like calling and writing Senator Heinrich, writing and calling Senator Lujan, telling them to support this act that Tashi read. And so I want to encourage you to do that, because in the last Congress, I was able to get a bill through Congress for the National Heritage Area Act. It's not impossible, but it takes a lot of hard work. And so I want all of you to remember that and call your senators, call your congresswoman, because they are sympathetic to this movement. And, so I'm just encouraging you as a public official in Santa Fe to participate in this process. And with that, I'm going to read the proclamation, which is very similar to the governor's proclamation. But I also think that it would be great in the next couple of years or in the next year, we could create an even longer proclamation with more teeth to it. So Santa Fe County proclaims March 10th, 2023 as Tibetan Freedom Day, whereas Santa Fe County recognizes the rich cultural history and heritage of the Tibet and the Tibetan people, and the depth and richness that the local Tibetan community of Santa Fe adds to the county. Whereas March 10th marks the anniversary of the 64th Tibetan Uprising, when the country of Tibet was occupied by the People's Republic of China. resulting in more than half a century of occupation and exile, and the exodus of about 80,000 Tibetans across the Himalayas. And whereas Santa Fe County supports the conclusion of the United States Congress that under the established principle of international law, Tibet is an occupied country whose true representative is the exile government based in India, headed by Cty.Commissioner. Whereas Tibetan people acknowledge and honor His Holiness the Dalai Lama, recipient of numerous awards and many government and institutions, including the Nobel Peace Prize, the United States Congressional Gold Medal, as the spiritual and temporal leader of Tibet. Santa Fe County encourages the People's Republic of China to enter into discussions with His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the Tibetan government to solve the question of Tibet based on the will of the Tibetan people to ensure respect for the fundamental rights of the Tibetan people. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the Board of County Commissioners of Santa Fe County, do hereby proclaim March 10th as Tibetan Freedom Day. Yay! Thank you for the honor of allowing me to be here to say a few words to you on this special day, and know that never underestimate what a small number of people can do, because you can change the world. So thank you.